All right, so this is the explanation of the rules of Richard the Rat's Riveting Adventure, The Invasion of New Ohio. So we have two players, two possible teams, I suppose, on each side, and each side begins with 5 tokens right here. As you can see, 5 tokens in this protruding spot right here, which is known as their base. Now, their base, each side is trying to defend and make sure that they keep all 5 tokens. You cannot add tokens to these spots and you can't move these. So anyways, so the idea is that the rats for the first 10 rounds are supposed to almost turtle in their spot and they're supposed to try and defend their base. For the first 10 rounds, they are not allowed to move past this middle spot right here. So the rats, what they begin with is 10 tokens to place on the first 2 rows right here. So you have 2 right here, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And just so y'all know, y'all don't have to place the tokens in this specific pattern. I just do it because it looks nice. Anyways, so, and Ohio starts off with an initial advantage of 5 extra tokens. So they get, that was 3, this is 7, 10, that's 14, and that is 15. And they are only allowed to place theirs on the first row like that. So what I'm going to do is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then you can have a maximum of 5 coins stacked up on top of each other like that, unless a card tells you otherwise. So now I have a 2 stack, a 3 stack, a 5 stack, a 3 stack, and a 2 stack. All right, so this is the beginning of the game. So how each turn works is for the first 10 turns, Ohio gets 1 reinforcement per round. So the idea is that Ohio starts off with an initial advantage where Ohio is meant to try and capture the rat space as quickly as it possibly can. The rats are meant to hold out until past the 10 mark where Ohio loses its advantage, and the rats are essentially meant to try and play the long game. So right now I have 1 reinforcement. I'm going to place that there, making that a 4 stack. And for my turn, I'm going to move 3 of these, and I'm going to move it diagonally right here. And that would be the end of Ohio's turn. When moving, what you can do is you can split apart, you can add, and you can move in any one direction. When placing troops for both, and this is for both sides, you can only place troops on pre-existing spots like this. So you could be able to place one right here, or if any of these 3 are empty, you can place one right there. All right, so now it is the rat's turn. So I'm going to take a token because it is their turn and they gain a reinforcement. So just as an example, because it is one of the first 3 right next to the base, I'm going to place one right there. And now for my move, I'm going to take that and combine it with the 2 stack right there, and that is the end of the rat's turn. All right, it is now, as you can see by the D20, it is going to be a turn counter. It is now round 2. All right, so Ohio still gets an extra reinforcement. So I'm going to place it right there on the 4. I'm going to move them right there, and that is the end of Ohio's turn. Now, the rats also get a reinforcement. I'm going to place it on that 3 stack, making it a 4 stack, and then I'm going to move them up there towards there. All right. So now it is round 3 because both turns have ended. So Ohio does get an extra token. And so because that's a 4 stack, I'm going to cap it out with a 5 stack and move into the rat's territory. All right, now it is the rat's turn. So I'm going to make this a 5 stack. And just to show y'all, the rats are now going to move into this spot to attack both sides. All right, so just for saying, this is going to be the rat's dice. So I'm going to roll. It is a 3. All right, and this is going to be Ohio's dice. So I'm going to roll, and it is a 1. All right, so to count battle points, to count who wins, we have 3 plus 5 here, so that's 8, and then 1 plus 5 here, so that's 6. So Ohio has lost, so they lose 1. So for example, and now I'm going to continue, so the rats roll a 1, so that's 6 on theirs, and Ohio has rolled a 2, so that's a 6. Both sides have gotten 6 battle points, so that would be a tie. In the event of a tie, you draw what is known as a chaos card right here. So, for example, it says, a famine decimates both sides of the conflict. Remove 3 Ohio troops, but the rats are weakened for 1 turn. All right, so when this happens, Ohio, what I'll do here is I will remove 3 of the Ohio troops, and Ohio chooses which 3 to remove. And then when a side is weakened, that means that they get 1 less battle point. So let's continue. So the rats have rolled a 2, but since they are weakened, that would make it essentially turn the dice roll to a 1. So what happens here is that is 5 plus 1, that's 6. Now, that is 4 plus 5, that's 9. So Ohio has won that. And so the rats are now at a 4v4, all right? So just for the sake of the argument right now, because the rats attacked Ohio, I'm going to say that the rats are going to retreat. Now this counts as a defense victory. So since the Ohioans were defending, they get to draw. Since they won the battle, per se, what they're going to do is they're now going to draw a card. And a cat is hired by Ohio to hunt down 2 of the enemy rats. You may remove 2 rats on any space of your choice, all right? So I can do that at any point in the game. Now, the only ones that you can't do stuff like this to is the enemy base. You're not allowed to say, oh, I'm gonna take this away from the enemy base. No, that's not fair. So just for the sake of the argument, to show y'all how it works, I'm going to use it right now. All right, so for Tomcat, I'm going to remove these 2 rats. And that would be the end of round 3. It would now be round 4. All right, there we go. So now this is no longer in play. This is no longer in play. So I'm going to put that at the bottom of the disaster deck. This is also no longer in play, so I'm going to put it at the bottom of the Ohio deck. Alrighty, and now just to speed things up and just to show you what happens is this would normally go on until about round 10. Now it is round 10. I'm gonna skip round 4 and all those just to show you what happens. So it is now round 10. The rats after round 10 are now allowed to cross this line. So because it is round 10 and it's Ohio's turn, I'm going to take 1 token and restore that 5. One moment. All right, I've restored that 5 right there with the extra token reinforcement. All right, so now it's balanced. So now I'm going to end that turn there, simply because, just to show you how it works. All right, and that is a 4 stack on the rats right there. So for the Rats' turn, I'm going to add their token, and they are now allowed to cross this line to try and attack the base. So I'm going to move right here. All right, it's now turn 11. Now, if y'all remember correctly, Ohio had an initial advantage. They had 5 extra tokens, where the Rats had 10 tokens to place in the first 2. Ohio had 15 to place in the first 1. This is intentional because after turn 10, Ohio only gets a reinforcement every other turn. So right now it is turn 11. So Ohio does not get a reinforcement, all right? So right now, what Ohio is gonna do, they are going to move forward like that. Okay, the Rats, on the other hand, they get consistent reinforcements. So I'm going to, for the Rats turn, I'm going to take this reinforcement, and I can't place it on that because that's a 5 stack right now. So what I'm going to do is, because these 3 are empty, I can place it on any one of those, or I can place it on any one of these 2. So what I'm going to do is, the Ohioans are going to attack, so what I'm going to do is place right there. All right, so what I'm now going to do is, for Ohio, it is now turn 12, if y'all see. All right, so Ohio, because it's now an even round, Ohio does get a reinforcement. All right, here's the reinforcement. So I'm going to place that right there on the 3 stack because that's a 5 stack, so I can't make that any higher. All right, I'm going to move it right there, and it is now Rat's turn, so I'm going to place the Rat right there because you can attack diagonally. You are allowed to go diagonal like that. So if they had gotten to that spot, they would have been able to attack the base. All right, so now it is now, I'm going to say that for the movement of the Rats, they are going to move these 2, which were right here, on top of that, making it a 3 stack. All right, so it is now turn 13, an odd round. So Ohio does not get any reinforcements. I'm just going to speed this up right now. I'm going to attack this right here. It is a 1v5. So for the sake of the argument, this is the Rats. They get a 6. That is 7 points. So, and then also a 6. So that is 5 plus 6 on Ohio's side. So that is 11 points versus 6 plus 1, which is 7 points. So for the sake of the argument, the Rats have lost this. The Rats have lost this right now. All right, so that was the end of Ohio's turn though. So what I'm going to do for the Rats is I'm going to place one on this 3 stack, and I'm going to say that this 4 stack now attacks this 5 stack. So this is Rats. Okay, that's 4 plus 3, that's 7 points. Dogware, okay. That's 5 plus 4, that's 9 points. So the Rats have lost this round. All right, again, that's 1 plus, they are not going to win. They cannot win this. So I'm just going to automatically say that the Rats lose a point. All right. That's 2 plus 2. The most they can get is 4. So again, that's a bit fishy. I'm going to say that they can't win. All right. And then last chance. That's 5 plus 1. That's 6. All right. So they can get a tie out of this. So, but they did not get a tie out of it. So if the 5 stack here had gotten a 1, that would have been 6 points on both, and we would have had to draw another disaster card. But that didn't happen, so the Rats lose. So because the Rats have lost, Ohio wins the battle. And so right now, Overgrown. I'm not going to use this card. All right, it is now turn 14, an even round, so Ohio can get a reinforcement. I'm gonna say on the 4 stack right here. All right, so now I'm going to attack their base right here. All right, this is rats again. That's 4 plus 5, that's 9, and then, all right, I have lost that because they got 9 points and I got 8 points, so I have lost. Alrighty, now I'm going to roll again. That is 7 points versus 10 points. So for this, the rats have lost one of their points, and so I'm going to put it there. So now is a 4-8-4. Alrighty, so the rats are going to roll again. That's 2 plus 4, that's 6. And Ohio has lost, so they lose one of their tokens. Alrighty. Alrighty, the rats have rolled a 6, so I cannot win as Ohio. So I'm going to move. Alright. Again, that's 5 plus, no, that's 4 plus 2, so that's 6. Then Ohio's going to roll. That is 6 plus 2, so that is 8. So the rats have lost. Alrighty. That's 3 plus 5, that's 8. That's 2 plus 2, that's 4. So the Ohioans have lost. Alrighty. Then again, the rats, that is 3 plus 1, that's 4. Versus 1 plus 4, that's 5. Alright, so they lose. And then that is 2 plus 1, that's 3. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Alright, and that's 3 plus 1, that's 4. Wait, that's, oh, okay. So the rats have lost. Alright, that's 1 plus 2, that's 3. Come on. And the rats have lost. So in this turn, Ohio has won the game. Alright, so that's how you overall play. The rats, if the rats capture Ohio's base, then they win. Yeah. Alright. There we go. Alright. Yeah, thanks for watching.